demystifying it, bringing it down very simple. Yeah, the story ban jati hai. But a main thing that we are, it's a key problem which when we spoke to a lot of financial planners, they keep telling us ki yaar, Terence, we don't know how to start a conversation. Sometimes what happens is, see, many people are pretty exposed. Some people have the entire flamboyance and style, so they go in there and they speak. But there are many people who have that nervousness, or who have that, customer samne baitha hai. I have a financial planner of my own who sometimes he comes home and he doesn't know how to, what we call as icebreaker jo hota hai. How do you start a conversation? This is what I'm going to ask Amit now. Over all the years of all the various kinds of people you have spoken to, and I'm asking this to you because you have been speaking to people in different languages and in different forms, different mediums. Is there a technique, or is there something that people can use to better their icebreakers, or a conversation starter? Is there something that they can put into practice?
Terence, on the effectiveness of communication, I think it is not defined by the communication, but it is defined by the response of the communication. So, if I get a Maharashtrian client, I would first like to tell him about the HDFC fixed deposit, so he feels at home. If I get a Tamil client, then I will talk about Sundaram maybe. If I get probably a guy who is technology, who travels much, I will probably pitch a MNC. If I get a retiree, I will tell him go and put money in a IDFC 7% bank deposit today rather than mutual funds. So it's how you actually collect data, what probing you do with the client. And after you do the probing, I think you will get ideas as to what to talk with the client. Typically, if you get a ultra high net worth, let me tell you, when money speaks, Terence, nobody checks the grammar. So when you're talking to rich people, I don't think so they are interested in all of this. They are more interested in listen to me rather than they listening to us. So communication is about more of listening rather than more of communicating. So when you are sitting in front of a client, I think you ask the basic questions to him as to any liabilities, any medical insurance, any term insurance. It's a good starting point because you are collecting data from that guy. Uh, we always tell a client, I mean, a first time client or a guy who has been referred by somebody, they come with portfolios which are either with some other distributors, or they have done it on your own or something like that. And I always maintain this, that no amount of guilt can solve the past, and no amount of anxiety, Terence, can change the future. So why does he come to an advisor? He comes to an advisor to get a solution, and we are problem solvers for him. I am not here to give him any returns. I am not here to show him the moon. He has a problem and he believes I can solve a problem. To identify the problem, whatever probing you need to do, I think that is very critical. So if he's a salaried guy, then you can ask him about the retirement, the retirals, the gratuity, the PF, the superannuation, what he's going to get. If he's a businessman, you can talk about the working capital cycle, the recoveries, how much money outside, what is the creditor, what is the data scenario. If he's a corporate, you talk about the treasury policy, the risk parameters, the profiling of the client. So depending on which client you're talking, if he's a retail client, I think you should just give him a solution in 5 minutes and close it off. The problem is with retail, we spend too much time, and with HNIs, we do not spend time. It should be the other way around. We talk about 1 hour on 10,000 rupee SIP to a retail client, and on a 1 crore portfolio, we just say, sir, either sign kar lo, and then we get out of the house. I think it should be the other way around. You should spend more time with the HNIs and very little time with the retail guys. So clearly for me, communication starts with listening rather than you communicating more, and probing according to which job, profession, salaried, businessman, corporate, all of that depends on the probing. And after the probing, it is a very good icebreaker to keep them abreast of what you're doing. Another thing, if he's a doctor, I take references from my earlier conversation with doctors, how I would have spoken to him then. And then we speak to him in that language. If he's a lawyer, if he's a businessman, you draw references from what you have done earlier and draw a parallel and talk to the client in that same manner. So that is how we try to do communication with clients, Terence, as an icebreaker.
That's damn cool. Words of wisdom. I mean, अलग अलग टाइप के लोगों को हाउ डू यू एग्जैक्टली फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड देम, फिर प्रोबिंग क्या होती है. एंड वन की वर्ड यू सेड लिसनिंग. एक कहावत है विच यू कैन ऑल पुट इनटू प्रैक्टिस इज लिसनिंग इज एन आर्ट. जितना प्रैक्टिस करोगे उतना बेटर है. लिसनिंग ऑलवेज हेल्प्स अ लॉट.